What is packing with you, YouTube? It's your man King Howie back with another interesting video. Now, news is and rumors are floating around the internet, social media about the potential firing of Mike McCarthy. But in order to step into the future, we have to go back to the past. Let's go back to 2005, where Mike McCarthy was coaching the San Francisco 49ers. Not as head coach, but assistant coach, whatever he was doing over there. And he passed up on Aaron Rodgers in the 2005 draft and went with Alex Smith. Ted Thompson took a risk. I wouldn't say a risk, but Ted Thompson made a great pick by picking Aaron Rodgers to come to the Green Bay Packers. And then when the 2008 season rolled around after all of the Brett Favre BS of him retiring and him coming to training camp and all this news media watching Brett Favre land in Green Bay, getting off the plane and fans cheering him on, and Mike McCarthy and the rest of the Green Bay front office decided to part ways with Brett Favre after Aaron Rodgers sat behind him for 3 years. Aaron Rodgers never let Mike McCarthy forget him making a mistake on passing him in the 2005 draft. Now, a lot of things are starting to become full circle with this whole Aaron Rodgers deal. I think Aaron Rodgers went on and won that Super Bowl in 2010 to show Mike McCarthy that he made a mistake. After that, that's where things started to go sour after the 2011 season. Aaron Rodgers started suffering injuries. We let Greg Jennings go. B.J. Raji decided to leave. A lot of things wasn't going right. Aaron Rodgers wins 2 MVPs. Then, one particular game where Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy got into an argument on the sideline on a play call. Actually, it was a play that ended the drive. Aaron Rodgers got upset about the play call, walked over there to Mike McCarthy and told him, "Hey, that was a bad play call." Mike McCarthy turns around, tells Aaron Rodgers, "Hey, you're just the quarterback. I'm the coach. You do what I tell you to do." B.J. Raji comes over, separates the two. Aaron Rodgers yells something else at Mike McCarthy. And then in a post-game conference, Mike McCarthy plays it off. Aaron Rodgers plays it off. Now that we are updated on the things that went down coming up into this year, this weird-ass year, the writing was on the wall. Not to mention, Aaron Rodgers has always tried to provide his input on what the Packers needed to do in order to be successful. And Ted Thompson rubs him the wrong way, tells him, "You let us handle the front office decisions. You just play football." See, when Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys that he wears a chip on his shoulder. And if he feels disrespected anyhow from people that he feels supposed to support him and be in his corner and be on the same page as him, he's not going to forget that. And I think that's what's been going on with him so far with his career in Green Bay. Prior to this season, after him healing up with the broken collarbone and having the 13 screws put into his shoulder, that's when contract talks had stalled. And I think, like I said in the last video, I think a lot of the changes that are going to take place has something to do with Aaron Rodgers' contract negotiation. The Packers know or knew that they needed Aaron Rodgers to be a Green Bay Packer no matter what. You let arguably the best quarterback, well, I say arguably, allegedly the best quarterback in the NFL on a talent spectrum slip through your hands. Green Bay Packers turn into the Raiders or the Cleveland Browns. So the Packers knew they could not let Aaron Rodgers go. That's the reason why he's got the biggest contract as far as quarterbacks. Now let's just look at the contract. $134 million. What is it for 6 years? 4 years? 5 years? I forget how many years he got. But all of a sudden, Ted Thompson steps down. They bring in a new GM. Aaron Rodgers, this up and coming season that started, he signs the biggest contract. He signs his $134 million. Mike McCarthy is told that he will not be dealing with Brian Gutekunst because I don't think Brian Gutekunst wants Mike McCarthy to be his head coach for the Green Bay Packers. Mike McCarthy is told he's only going to deal with Mark Murphy, the active president for the Green Bay Packers. So that's the only person Mike McCarthy is talking to right now. And I think they gave Mike McCarthy play calling duties, which I don't understand why he was going back and forth with for the last 3 years. Sometimes he wasn't the play caller, and then sometimes he was. Like, I don't understand that whole spiel at all. But I think Aaron Rodgers knew that this was going to be Mike McCarthy's last year. And I think Aaron Rodgers wanted to prove to the organization that Mike McCarthy wasn't the coach that they needed going into the future of his contract. When you get a big contract like that, man, a lot of changes are made, especially when it comes to a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers' caliber. Aaron Rodgers sees that this offense hasn't changed since 2010. Greg Jennings said the same thing. Like, you guys are not changing this offense up. The offense, football and offense is evolving. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more running backs catching passes out of the backfield. There's a lot more running backs going deep, catching touchdown passes. And Mike McCarthy wasn't living up to those type of schemes that will propel the Packers to be successful. And now we see the writings on the wall with this offense. We are now 4-5-1 after losing to Seattle. We can't win in Seattle, and Seattle can't win in Green Bay. So, there's the difference there. But when you have the game in your hands, Seattle fumbles the ball on the first play of the game, and the Packers go down and score. The momentum is in your favor, and then you just all of a sudden hit the brakes. It's stuff like that to where Mike McCarthy has to go. I mean, you can even look at Mike McCarthy in the press conference, the post conference game interviews. It looked like he's gaining weight, which I think is stress weight. He says the same thing every post game conference. Guys got to get better. We just have to We didn't have the right spacing on the levels passing. Routes that were out there. Guys have to improve. We're banged up, a little injured. Like, it's the same demeanor. It's nothing enthusiastic about him. About him being head coach of the team. He has an attitude with certain reporters. He just, he has no pop, no flair, no sizzle, no tick, no. He's not a rah rah type of coach, and he's very conservative. And Aaron Rodgers he doesn't want to deal with that anymore. He wants to evolve as a quarterback. He wants to come with something new. 13 years of the same process, year in and year out, is just not cutting it for Aaron Rodgers. This team is young, and Aaron Rodgers is running into the same situation that Tony Romo ran into when he got his big contract. Couldn't pay nobody. You had to deal with a young team. Not only that, you paid a quarterback that's a lot of money that's constantly injured. You know what I'm saying? You don't add no depth on the offensive line. You let some great offensive linemen go to other teams that are now flourishing in the division. You get a running back, a high prospect running back from Alabama, Eddie Lacy, and he has 2 great years, and then you just stop running the ball with him. You're not motioning players, receivers on the offensive line. It's the same plays. Mike McCarthy is still running the good old Vince Lombardi sweep. He still runs that play that gets us nowhere. And that's where I think things went left with Aaron Rodgers and McCarthy. You could just see that these two in their relationship as head coach and starting quarterback has ran its course. And this is the one thing I don't get. I mean, you hear the outcry of Packer fans all over social media. I mean, I know Packer fans are adding the Packers on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and it's like they don't hear what we're saying. They don't see what we're seeing. The Packers are a very in-house, close-knitted type of team. They don't like information to get out. Very secretive, quiet, and that's a problem. That's a problem. So with this turn of events for the Packers going into next season, I don't expect Mike McCarthy to be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. I'm hearing rumblings of Josh McDaniels as being one of the top candidates for the head coaching job in Green Bay, but that's all dependent on his relationship with Tom Brady and Belichick and Robert Kraft. He might stay. He might go. We don't know. But as of right now with this team is in trouble. A lot of Packer YouTubers are being optimistic and still holding on for a glimpse of hope that this team can somehow go 10-5-1. I don't know what they talking about. I don't see that happening. This team has been frustrating to watch on the road. Like I said, I was at the Rams game this year where Packer fans came in droves and just out-fandomed the Rams at their own stadium. I mean, it was more Packer fans that I ever seen in my life. I'm like, wow, this feel like a home game. You know, the crowd was into it, and Mike McCarthy was still pulling the same old strings. Starting off hot, getting stagnant in the second and third quarter, then trying to be aggressive too late in the fourth, and then that's when mistakes happen. All these mistakes. The only game I could say where we deserved to lose was against the Redskins. I mean, we lost to the freaking Lions. You know, who knows who knows what was going through Mason Crosby's head in that game? Who knows what's going through Mason Crosby's head now? He's missing kicks again. You know, he's starting to become a problematic road game kicker. Like, we don't know what to expect of Mason Crosby on the road. It's like holding your breath whenever he's on the road kicking the football. So, Mike McCarthy has been sugarcoating everything, which he's supposed to do as a head coach. You know, he's supposed to keep a level head, not let things get out of control. But Aaron Rodgers, he's been very outspoken at every post-game conference interview this year when we've lost games. He's been very vocal. He's been pointing fingers not only at himself, but at the way that the offense is being ran. A lot of issues with Aaron Rodgers. You could tell that he doesn't fully trust the cast of players that he has on the offense. The only guy he wants to throw the ball to is Devontae Adams or Randall Cobb whenever Randall Cobb is going to be healthy. I think Randall Cobb should get the boot too. I mean, we can't keep going year after year with this guy being sidelined with nagging injuries. I mean, for crying out loud, you know, the game that, you know, he got hurt in a Ravens game where he broke his fibula or something like that. And he's just never been 100% after that. So I think the young receivers that we do have, they're on a short learning curve because, like I've been saying all this time, Aaron doesn't have time to fuck around. I really think this is Aaron Rodgers' last contract he's ever going to have in the NFL. I think after this contract, he's going to want to retire. And it'll be very important to him to win at least another Super Bowl or get to another Super Bowl. Not to mention, he's going through the same thing Drew Brees went through. You know, they paid him all this money. Team is young, and you have to go through 7-9, 7-9, 7-9 seasons. But, you know, Brees is throwing for 5,000 yards, but he's throwing double-digit interceptions in every game too. But now you see that they provided him with a solid running game and, you know, a perennial receiver like Michael Thomas that can get open. You know, sky's the limit now. So with the Green Bay Packers moving on from Mike McCarthy, who knows if this is going to set Aaron Rodgers back another year because, like I said, this year with the new GM was a trial and error year. And all of you Packer fans went jumping around. Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. This team is this and this team is that. And I've been telling y'all all along, Aaron Nagler, Tom Grassi, KDG. Shout out to KDG, man. I like his videos. Who else? The realest cheesehead that this team is not a Super Bowl contending team. I've been saying that for the last 2 years. This team is not in no form, shape to win a Super Bowl right now. This team is young on the defensive side of the ball. Like, we're long in the tooth and young on the defensive side of the ball. Clay Matthews, I think he's gone. Now, and Aaron Rodgers is playing with a lot of guys who are inexperienced. So who knows how much this is going to further set him back to get him back to a bowl. If Brian Gutekunst wants to make an impact, he's going to have to do it through free agency, and he's going to have to do it right. Not only through free agency, but in the draft. I mean, we can't keep messing around picking these fifth and sixth round receivers and seventh round tight ends and trading down first round picks and trading up and getting guys that can't play from these schools of obscurity that we ain't never heard of before. Like, it all starts with the scout team. Like, I don't understand what's up with this scouting team. It's just the Packers scouting team is horrible. Like, what are you guys looking at? Who are you guys looking at? All of these damn draft picks and Ted Thompson's henchmen that go out and evaluate these young guys coming into the league. Sometimes I don't understand what the hell the Packers be looking at. Like, why are y'all drafting this guy? We know this guy is not going to last. We get good defensive backs and then we let them go. This team needs help. You know, Aaron Rodgers is starting to look like he can't carry this team anymore. And it doesn't help with having a coach like Mike McCarthy being a nervous play caller every game. Not taking risk. It's 4th and 2, man. The season is on the line. You have to take that risk. Who cares if we don't convert the 4th and 2? Who cares? At least you took the damn risk. You just trot up, punt. Like, oh, we knew that Mike Daniels was down and Kenny Clark was hurt, so we decided to let our defense try to make a stop. Man, what? Oh, man. Sometimes I hate being a Packer fan, man. I love this team to death. But sometimes I hate being a Packer fan, man. You would think, like I keep saying, you would think this team would be smart. You would think this team would be smart. And the more and more you see them make decisions, you could just tell that they ain't. This team is not smart. Maybe what Aaron Rodgers is doing, maybe he's trying to tell them something. Maybe he's trying to tell the Packers something. Hey, y'all are not thinking. I think the next coach that we get is going to have to let Aaron Rodgers run the offense. You know, you're going to have to give him a chance to run the offense, man. You're going to have to let him run it. You know, Mike McCarthy, this team should have been won another damn Super Bowl, man. And you could just sense it every game on Aaron Rodgers' face. Not to mention, his demeanor is terrible. He has like the most terrible emotional reactions to things that don't go his way. He's pouting. He's flailing his arms. He's giving the receiver that dropped the ball a dirty look, even though he threw a bad pass. You know, he loses confidence. He's throwing dirt balls. I don't know if it has something to do with his shoulder injury. He's just not getting the ball out to the running backs in the flats. I mean, easy throws. He doesn't want to check down. He's holding on to the ball too long in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Which is putting wear and tear on the offensive line. You know, just throw the ball to Aaron Jones. He's open in the flats. He could pick up 10 yards. I mean, quit trying to look for the heroic throws. Every pass play, the play action is just terrible. Aaron Rodgers' awareness is not there. So not only is McCarthy to blame for things that's been going on with the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers is too. It looks like both of them are trying to sabotage each other this year. If y'all don't think it's a feud going on with Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, you've been living under a damn rock. You've been living under a damn rock. I haven't seen. I don't know. Maybe they have, encountered each other and communicated, but I don't see it. I don't see no communication between coach and quarterback with this team. I mean, you barely see it from Brady and Belichick. And then after that game, Aaron Rodgers goes up to Belichick. Oh, man, you're the greatest coach ever. And then Belichick says, no, man, you're the greatest quarterback ever. Like, if that's not a shot at Mike McCarthy, I don't know what is, man. But I could tell you right now, man, when it rains, it pours. And right now, the Packers is living under a leaky-ass roof. They got pots and pans catching every drip of damn water, trying to catch every drip of damn water that's falling from the ceiling. So, I don't know. Another thing, too. What is Brian Gutekunst thinking with all of this going on right now? Like, how is this going to affect his decisions for the future of this team? What is he going to do different to propel this team to being good again? Because right now, the Bears and the damn Vikings are laughing at the Packers. A lot of people are laughing at the Packers. I'm laughing at the Packers. As much of a diehard fan I am, this team is trash. I've been saying it for the last 2 years. This team is trash. I seen the writings on the wall when Aaron Rodgers got hurt and we put Brett Hundley in. I'm like, damn. Nobody else can step up? That's all we got? Aaron Rodgers and that's it? This defense is trash. Offense is trash. This total team is just not mentally where it needs to be, physically where it needs to be, and emotionally where it needs to be. I used to feel good about, Packer games. Now it's like, what we going to get this week? How are we going to shoot ourselves in the foot this week? How is Mike McCarthy going to throw this game away this week? Is Aaron Rodgers going to keep holding on to the ball, snapping the ball with 2 seconds left, wasting timeouts early in the game because we can't get the play clock is at 2 and we still trying to figure. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. I thought the Saints was a fall from grace after Sean Payton got suspended. But this shit right here, we might finish, man, we might finish 8-7-1. That's where I'm thinking right now. I don't think we're gonna win a road game. I don't see us winning a road game. Maybe against the Jets. I think we play the Jets at their place. We might lose to the Falcons. We almost lost to the damn 49ers. And people calling this team like when I watched that 49er game, that's when I knew we wasn't shit. I was like, oh, we ain't shit. We struggling with the 49ers. Aaron Rodgers has beaten mediocre quarterbacks that should be backups right now in the league. He beat a bunch of backups. A bunch of backup quarterbacks. But when it's time to go beat Tom Brady and Alex Smith, can't do it. Can't do it. So I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm ready for next year. I'm already looking at potential draft picks. That first round pick we got from the Saints, it's not working out in our favor. I was hoping that the Saints would tank out sooner or later, but after they beat the Rams, it doesn't look like that. So it looks like we might have a high draft pick. We might have maybe the 15th pick. one of the maybe 1 through 15. We might have one of the top 15 picks in the draft, and then we have to wait until later on in the first round to get somebody else. But I could tell you right now, if we trade one of those first round picks, it'll be a disservice to the team. So y'all let me know, man. Shout out to the Packer YouTubers out there. No disrespect to y'all. You know what I mean? But as far as I see it, this little love connection was over with when Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers got into it on the sideline. I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And since then, it hasn't been pretty football. You know, we've been going to wild card games and making it to the NFC Championship games and just not making it happen, which is a sore sight on Aaron Rodgers' resume. You know, hopefully things can turn around this year, but I doubt it. I think we're going to see more of what we've been seeing. Same old shit show. Each game that goes on, you could just tell Mike McCarthy is not really interested in coaching this team no more. It looks like he's ready for a fresh start, and it looks like Aaron Rodgers is ready for a fresh start too. So, with that being said, man, like, subscribe, comment. But yeah, this team is just in a weird funk, a weird phase right now that they have to try to get out of. You know, they got to figure it out. Got to make some adjustments, some new faces, and we'll be where we're supposed to be again. I believe that. I believe the Packers will be back to being a dominant team like we were in 2011. And I think we'll run the division again. You know what I mean? It's, you know, Khalil Mack. So they're going to really try to conserve Khalil Mack as much as they possibly can. What you're supposed to do when you give somebody $140-something million. So y'all let me know what y'all think. This your man King Howie. Thanks for listening, and I'm out.